Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about your year-end tax report. As I and William have already told you, we're going over the reports within TruckLogics to help you utilize those reports and optimize your returns so that you can go ahead and get everything prepared for the upcoming tax season. We're going to show you how those reports pull, what they entail, and where the system gets that information from. Next week, William will be going into a deeper dive so that we'll get that covered as well, okay? So, about me, I am Christy, and I've been with TruckLogics for a couple of years now, and like I've always tell you guys, I'm really passionate about helping you utilize TruckLogics to make the most of your trucking management software so that you can get your business quickly taken care of, get your invoices paid, get your drivers paid. So today's webinar overview is all about the year-end tax report. It's just one report, but it is a very crucial report. It contains a lot of information. So that's the one report that we're going to cover today, what information it contains and how to pull that report. And then as always, we'll have a small Q&A at the end. So if you will, just hold those questions until the end, okay? All right, well, let's do it live. I'm gonna demonstrate those reports for you. So just hold on one moment. All right, and as usual, you're landing on your dashboard. You can see our nice new feature that we've included in all of our packages is now that you can send your dispatches to Motive. If you have the Motive Enterprise package with them, you can send your quick dispatches to Motive. It's to help you only utilize one system so that you don't have to double entry in both systems, okay? So with reports, you have a couple of options here. You can see your profit and loss, your year-end tax report, your customer revenue report, and your driver report, which we already went over. William covered your profit and loss report. So today we're going to do the year-end tax report. And it's all on this module here, the tax, right beside your IFTA, if you have preferred and premium levels, and in between your driver's log. So you click the reports and it'll bring you here. And you'll even see unit reports, a truck report, equipment maintenance report for your expenses that have been entered on your trucks, a unit insurance expiry report, trailer report, unit licensing expiry report, and then of course all of our IFTA reports that you can utilize when it's time to generate that IFTA report. So let's click on this year-end tax report, and it's going to open up and it's going to give you a few options here. You're going to immediately see an overview of the current year that you're reporting for, or that the system is pulling that data for. You have a drop down where you can pull from past years if you need and print those. Accrual is meaning that anything is in the final state. So if you've paid or invoiced a client and you have that invoice in a final state, or you've issued a settlement on there and you finalized that settlement on your dispatch, those items are going to appear under the accrual section. Once they're paid, they'll be then included in the cash. So it's accrual is final, paid for cash. And as you can see, the first part here is solely based for your income. It'll give you a little chevron drop down and it gives you your grand total. You can see this $6,550, excuse me. And then it's going to give a breakdown of what was included in this gross receipts or sales section. So I had $52.50 in accessorial income. I didn't make any advances. I had some fuel surcharges. I leased income, and most of my income is going to come from mileage income. Mileage income directly comes from those paid invoices, guys. So, or if you've invoiced an individual and they haven't paid you, and here it is coming up on December 31st, you need to get those payments received so that you can have this income ready for 2023 so that you can have your year-end tax report. And then it continues to break it down, your cost of your goods, and then it gives you a gross profit and shows you how it subtracts. And then it says other income, federal, state, gasoline, fuel tax credit or refunds, and you can drop this down in this chevron, and you can see that if you've entered a standalone income under an other, or if you've created your own income category like we had discussed on previous webinars, this is where you're going to see that. You're going to see this as other income, or if you've entitled it income from buying, shipping shoes or something unrelated to your mileage income. That's where this was going to be, and it'll show up here. And then it'll give you your grand total of your income so that you can match this up. And if it's not matching, go back through those invoices, guys. Invoice is your income. Make sure that you've received payment on them, or if you've not sent them out, get them sent out so that you can get those paid. If you have a factoring company, include that factoring on that invoice and get those paid so this income, you can get this income in. Okay, same goes with your expenses. If your drivers haven't submitted all their expenses for the fuel on the dispatch that they've been assigned to, or if you haven't imported all of your EFS fuel, get that imported. We have several webinars on this. We've been going over this for the last few months now so that we can, in preparation for this year end and getting you ready for the upcoming tax season. So if you had any advertisement, this is a system default category, car, truck expense, and then you have your because we're based in South Carolina, or the sales tickets, if you had anything that went into that expense category, state tax, we set up our system for South Carolina, and you can enter South Carolina tax here or whatever you have that's there. Commissions and fees, if those expenses had been processing fees that you have entered into your account. We don't have any enter on this account because this is a test account for webinars only. Contract laborers, this is where your lumper fees, your payments, and stuff like that's going to reflect, okay? It's going to give you these chevrons, these orange chevrons, so that you can drop down and see these expanded. Again, accrual is final state, paid is cash, meaning that that's the actual amount that's been paid into you, okay? Depletion, depreciation and deductions, employee benefits. Let's say you're paying your employees health insurance for them. This is where it's going to show up as this expense category here. Other insurance than health, like your truck insurance, trailer insurance. Some individual drivers have both, some is all together. Interest on mortgage, interest of others, and legal and professional services. These are all default systems. This is where your factoring charges expenses will show. You'll see our factoring. There isn't a DOT physical category that we added. So if you had to pay for a physical, you could add expense categories and they would show. Office expenses, again, you can make these expenses as many, or you can use the system default. Pension and profit, rent or lease. If you're renting the vehicle that you're using and you're making that rent payment or whatever, you can enter that here. Rent and lease vehicles. And here is the one that most of our clients ask about, the repairs and maintenance. When you schedule that maintenance and you enter that maintenance as complete, here is where it's going to appear on the year-end tax report. So this is another reason why, guys, that it's very important that you're interactive with your TruckLogics account, because it's a complete, TruckLogics is a complete management software from the front end to the back end, so that you can have all your expenses and tracked. Money in, money out, year-end tax report, bookkeeper, bam, you're done. Okay? Supplies, any number of supplies. If you had to have a tarp, I've had clients get as minute as alarm clocks for their cabs. Taxes and licensing, again, payroll taxes, if you calculate those and you put them in that category, they will appear here. Any permits, deduction, meals and entertainments. A lot of times our clients will pay for their driver's meals, and if that's the case, here's where that expense will come through. Travel. Some of these categories may not apply to you. So if your guy had to stay in a hotel overnight or something and you paid for it because the truck broke down, here's the lodging. Utilities, we haven't seen too many utilities because of the trucks, but some do have generators. So maybe that's where you want to put in the cost of that as a utility. Wages. Here is where you're paying your drivers. There are two ways in the TruckLogics account that you categorize your drivers, either contractors or employees. Employees are wages, contractors are payments. So here are the wages, and then other expenses. Accessorial expense, escrow maintenance, miscellaneous, any other. We even have toll and Uber if you want those. And then of course now you can see your net profit. You see we're in a loss, meaning we had more expenses than we had income. And then it goes on to other expense, more other expenses. You can get down even more. And here's where your fuel cost is going to show. So if you've imported that fuel or you've had your drivers add their fuel on the dispatch that they were assigned to via our mobile app, here's where that's going to appear for the account. And that's another reason why it's very important that you're getting all your drivers on the same page. Hey, I need those fuel ups. I need those fuel receipts added as a picture so that you can verify against the fuel up that they submitted. And here's where that's going to appear on your year-end tax report. Uniform, gloves, again, you can get as minute as you want or detailed as you want. Safety clothes. Let's say your driver is hauling something, chemicals, and they needed some, say, PPE, there you can put that in, the cost of that here. Unreimbursed parking, scales, tolls. We even have a category for this, parking. And work-related subscriptions, if you've categorized an expense. So some of our TruckLogics clients are owner ops and they pay for Netflix or something and they take that as a business expense. I'm not telling you to do that, but if it's work-related subscriptions, here is where you can enter those in that category. And then it's going to give you a grand total, again, of $4,233. So like I said in the beginning, you can change your year. So you needed to see something from last year. You can change it to the 2022. And then you want to look at this account will not have any 2022 because Webinar Trucking wasn't in business in 2022. But you guys were. You were here with us for a while now. So, and maybe you're brand new, so you're not going to have anything either. But again, accrual is final, paid for cash. You can switch between them and you'll be able to see the difference in the numbers. See, earlier we were not as negative as we were here. And when we go flip over, we're even more into negative. So, and then our final change because we switched to cash. You have a couple of options. When you print, when you click the print, if you're trying to print it, you can save it as a document to your software, your computer. That is on your side, but you can print this and it'll print all of these categories. Okay, so I'm going to pause the screen and switch back to our presentation. So now it's Q&A time. If you have any questions related to today's webinar, feel free to go ahead and get those typed in. If it's something support related, please, please, please hold those and give us a call. William and I are happy to help you. So don't see any questions coming in. But next week's webinar is equipment efficiency, generating unit reports in TruckLogics. That's going to be on December 21st at 4 p.m. This is another report within the TruckLogics account, and the reason we're doing December on reporting, again, is to help you guys get ready for the upcoming tax year. Make sure that you're utilizing these reports to the best of your abilities so that you just print things out and hand them to your bookkeeper and they get you filed, your taxes filed, okay? If you're brand new today and you haven't signed up for TruckLogics, and I mean, why haven't you signed up yet? I mean, it's, like I said, it's all in one. It's the logical way to run your business. Go ahead, head over to TruckLogics.com, sign up for our free 15-day, no obligation, credit card obligated trial. James and Mark are going to reach out to you the day after you sign up. We have tons of resources to email you, PDFs that train you on the system. William and I are here to help you if you have any questions along the way. And as always, you can get in touch with us at 704-234-6946. Too busy or on the road, shoot us an email, support@trucklogics.com. We are located here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's like 20 minutes from Charlotte, North Carolina. And as always, follow us on all of our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TruckLogics. All of our webinars are posted and recorded. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.